cross.
What's
They
going on?
they don't need a permit or anything to be using bullhorns, or
Nah.
so I can go use a bullhorn anywhere I want at any time?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Pretty much. So that kind of restricts when you say pretty much, not absolutely anywhere.
Well, not absolutely anywhere. I mean, where you
Where would
say
it be
anywhere, would you
restricted?
say you go inside a bank and use a
No,
bullhorn?
that's
you know what I'm saying?
private property.
Well, that's
Private property. So anywhere in public, in
Public
Upper
property.
Merion, I can scream as loud as I want into a bullhorn.
Well,
Just
it all
wondering.
depends.
On what?
I don't know, man. You tell me.
I don't know.
I have to. I'm not.
So there's
gonna
really
wait,
no
I'm not gonna-
policy or statute right now in Upper Merion that says you can't use a bullhorn to just
Well, listen.
kind of voice.
Well, you got to understand that this is a commercial area. If you go to a residential area, you're going to probably get into some little bit.
Okay, well that helps a little bit.
Yeah, so if you're in a residential area, and the noise ordinance.
Okay, so there isn't a noise ordinance in Upper Merion. Well, how many decibels is it? Do you know?
I don't know that. I don't know. I wouldn't even tell you because I don't know. We don't have decimal
That was
readers. Or
my
anything
next
like
question.
That. Yeah, we don't have something like that.
So it's all subjective to whoever the complaint is?
It is subjective.
Wow.
To that point, but that's where we have to weigh out. I mean, like, so you're talking about like fireworks, all right? Or if your radio is up,
Right.
you know, if your radio's up and it's loud, okay, it's loud. It's not a band.
Right. So
know?
fireworks are actually can cause you to show up,
Yeah.
even though they're legal.
Well, it's because with the fireworks ordinance, yes, they're legal in Pennsylvania, but in Upper Merion, they're legal in Upper Merion, except you can't disturb your neighbor with them.
Wow.
So if that,
Another subjective law.
well, the fireworks,
so
so you can't hear it across property lines.
But what
You're
if
not
10 of my
supposed to.
neighbors love it, and one neighbor doesn't?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
So there's a subjectiveness.
It is subjective, obviously, but the issue is technically if your noise goes across property lines, that's kind of how it works out.
Okay.
So
good to know.
in essence, are fireworks even legal in Upper Merion?
Yes. I mean,
Subjectively, again.
correct. So before they became legal, I was blasting them off in front on my driveway in the street.
Right.
Everybody loved it. Then the cops came by and they were like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah. Well.
Then the big mortars became legal and the
Right,
louder
and
ones
everything
became
was fine.
legal, and so I started doing them again. And,
Right.
and then when one neighbor is like, "Oh my God, it's like 8 at night, and you know, what are you doing?"
Yeah. Well.
So I was polite and just shut it down.
Yeah.
And took them to another friend's house out in the country and finished them there. And you know, I'm not a dick about things, you know.
Well, you know, and again, and that's the whole. I guess that's the whole thing. I mean,
Right.
if you're gonna light them off and you're gonna have fun, yes. Are you gonna disturb? Are you gonna be able to disturb your neighbor?
Which I don't want
right
to
next,
do.
no, right next to you.
Right.
Yes, absolutely, because
For
it's
sure.
a firework. You're
So
gonna.
you got that right.
It's loud enough to disturb your
Yep.
neighbor, and that's how the ordinance is. So, again, it's not. Is it legal? Yes. Is it legal? It's not, because if you're disturbing your neighbors, you gotta stop, right? So that's just the ordinance.
So they make something legal illegal by throwing a statue on it.
Absolutely.
Just like them trying to trespass me from the high school or from any school property for the rest of my life because I held a sign saying masking children's child abuse off of school property.
I heard the
superintendent got so butthurt about it.
I heard the whole thing about it, and as to the outcome of it.
Well, so
never anything
I went to
said
the
us.
chief
Yeah.
and told him that I have to be committed to crime to be trespassed. And it turns out that that's not true.
For trespassing?
It's interesting. So say you come onto my property, not as an officer, but as an individual.
As an individual, yeah.
And there's nothing posted, and you're not doing anything illegal. I tell you to get off my property.
Yeah.
You have to leave, or it'll be defined trespass if you don't leave after I tell you a few
Yeah,
times.
because you've been already told. You've been
Correct.
asked to,
So
yes.
just like
But
on
just walking on
public property, someone is the custodian of it, and if they feel that there's a reason to trespass somebody, even though they didn't break the law, they can still do that legally. Isn't that crazy?
It is. It is. And again, it's who it's subjective.
Everything is.
Because if I don't
okay?
care if you write, if you stand with a sign and there's kids with masks on, and you're like, you know.
Most of the kids are like, "You're right. Thank you for speaking up for us."
Right, so those kids are happy
You know?
about it because they want to take their masks off. Maybe the parents are happy about it
Some
too, so you're not making
were.
them mad.
And I said, "Then
Right.
stand next to me.
You're right. So
You're kids. I don't have no skin in the game. My kids
Right.
are out of school.
Yeah, right.
I'm just here to help the next generation realize the truth."
By the way, I met your youngest son.
Alex?
Oh, What a great kid that kid is.
And it's so funny that, you know, I know the fact that the drugs are brought in on purpose for the reasons, the fentanyls,
Right.
the heroins, you know, come on. And people fail to realize how many innocent lives are affected and die, and families crushed forever
Absolutely.
because of it. And as a young child, as even maybe not you, but as I grew up, I you know, tried certain things. Luckily, it wasn't crazy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, right.
But so like teenagers today, they want to escape from reality a little bit, and now there's fentanyl out there, and now there's all kinds of crack cocaine. And,
not to mention,
my God.
if you were to go buy pot off the street corner, and you know, or off a friend or something like that, when you and I were younger,
yeah, the Mexican dirt weed and
you
stuff.
didn't have to worry about
Right,
it.
you
Like,
get a little buzz.
Somebody wasn't putting PCP
Okay.
in it or some
Wow.
wet. You know,
Wow.
you weren't getting crazy. You were smoking weed. You were getting
Okay.
high, but you're not getting wet. Like
Okay.
you're getting stuff like that, formaldehyde.
Bend your mind so hard with this stuff.
Yeah.
So interesting that if I buy a bag of weed from you, I get arrested, but if I buy a bag of weed from the store down the street here, I'm good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, hey.
Things have
Federal
changed.
Federal government, my friend.
So that's state though.
Well, it is, but well, actually, I should have said. I mean, state. The federal government has it.
Still
It's still
left it as
that's
a
what I
class
would
5 or
say,
3, whatever.
And it's still not. It's still not legal. But when they legalize it, then they're gonna find out. Then they're gonna start studying. That they won't study it until it becomes legal.
So interesting.
federal.
So if you can you pull someone over, and if you smell marijuana, charge them with DUI or driving while intoxicated of some kind?
Not just because of the smell of it.
That's not probable cause?
Yeah. So now it used to have PC to pull somebody over because the odor of marijuana.
right. You can't anymore now.
It's which is wrong, because you're not supposed to be smoking. It's just like
Right, it's a
watching
controlled
you drink a
substance while
beer.
you're driving.
If you're drinking a beer,
Okay.
it's the same thing,
Right.
So that's the way I look at it. Well, the courts
Go ahead.
have said that's not probable cause anymore. So now we have to build probable cause. So any traffic violation, any type of vehicle code violation or anything, that
Pull
gets
them
me
over.
to pull you over, and then
Smell it.
I'm able to. I smell it. Well, I'm still not at
PC yet?
smoking in the car. I'm still not at PC for DUI. I'm not a PC for a DUI. So I still have to say, listen, because it is legal now. But here's the problem: it's not like. 0.08 is alcohol.
For alcohol, right?
What's marijuana?
That's a question.
We have.
You don't have a meter.
You have nothing. I mean,
Right.
you have to test the blood. So I'd have to say, all right, well,
That has to
you
be
were
voluntary.
swerving, you were doing that, or I would just get something voluntary.
But could you force them to give blood?
Only if I have other. Other probable cause. So like you're slurring your speech, you're driving all over the road, just like for
Like the
alcohol,
driving,
just say
right.
for alcohol, right? So, but then there are officers that are trained in that
Really?
that can, by doing certain things for your eyes and all that kind of stuff, testing and that, they're able to determine whether you are under the influence of whatever marijuana, yeah, that kind of stuff. So
Well, it's Mother Nature. I'm not crying about marijuana with all the other shit that's out there.
right.
And the way the criminals are let loose and innocents are being arrested. And my God, it's just insane. So, whatever.
I know.
Whatever. I'm just trying to show the world how it's changed through my channel.
Yeah.
Sometimes roughly, sometimes kindly, sometimes comedically.
I like the kindly.
I hear you. I have changed in the last 6 months. If you've seen my videos in the last 6 months,
Right.
except when I'm down in D.C., I have a problem with the Capitol Police, who are holding innocent people in a cage for 1.5 years for fucking trespassing.
Yeah,
I have a big problem. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter.
Right,
I'm
right.
not talking politics.
No, I know. So, again, as a police officer, I got to see it to believe it. But if there's smoke, there's fire, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
I'm not going to say, yeah, that's what's happening, because I don't even know if that's
Okay.
happening. And you've been down there.
Even
I'm not down
murderers
there.
get a fucking chance to bail out. Okay? Come on, man, stop. It's all political. And there's the problem I have.
Yeah.
Is I've stopped voting years ago because I know the truth.
Right.
If voting mattered, they wouldn't allow us to do it. Just put it that way. Believe it or not, it's not an election; it's a selection. But anyway, so I don't put politics in front of things.
Right.
And even when I'm out here, which I was a month ago, and the visceral hatred and the hypocrisy about something that may or may not affect them is
Right.
just mind-boggling. So we have zombies.
Yeah.
They're just brainwashed by the government-owned media, and there's no more critical thinking. There's no more
There's nothing. They
understanding.
don't even teach in school anymore.
No, they don't even get me started with school, man. That's why I'm there, because I know what happens in those schools. They're government-owned indoctrination centers. You know, they're teaching critical race and all this other shit to kindergartners, and now there's 30 genders, and stop lying.
Yeah, that's the.
Just stop it.
Yeah, listen. If there's 30 genders, just show them to me. And prove it to me. And I'll be like, all right, there's 30 genders.
Now there's not female or male. Now there's birth person. So males can now give birth. In case you didn't know that.
I tried. I never happened. No, I'm just kidding. You know.
So I just point my camera at the insanity going on today, and I really used to try to change things, but it's too far gone.
Well, you know,
it's too far gone.
I may not be like a smart man, right? I mean, I'm not a scholar. You know what I mean?
Nor am I.
But well, sure.
You have common sense.
You have common sense.
Okay. And you got eyes.
Sense is where we don't have that anymore.
Exactly.
Common sense is out the window.
Okay. So I've raised all 4 of my kids wisely.
Yeah.
To think. I don't always give them the answers.
Right.
I'll guide them.
Yeah.
And tell them the truth.
Right.
And then they can kind of mold their mind from there. And they've all done real well. And none of them are visceral. None of them are hateful. Hatred is such a waste of emotion.
Right.
It really is.
You're right.
And
my shoulders.
Well, you're not that old.
No, I'm 53.
Are you really?
Yeah,
you look it. I'll be 60 this year. All right. I mean, not that we're far apart.
Nah.
Is there a retirement age for you guys in Upper Merion?
No, you can stick around.
Up to 62 or something?
Nah, there's no real age.
Really?
It's just you don't want to be in this job after 60. You don't want to be in this job.
You've been a cop for how many years?
24.
So okay, good. So I figured.
I got another.
Not all in Upper Merion, though, right?
Nah, all here.
Really?
Yeah, all here. Well, I was a month and a half at Upper Merion.
Well, that doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
That long?
Sheriff's Department
here.
for 4 years. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, then you've seen changes.
Yeah.
You know, Upper Merion's a great town.
It's a great town.
You guys aren't out extorting with speed traps and bullshit, you know, and like they are in other towns.
No, we don't. Listen,
DUIs and stuff, checkpoints.
We hit the dangerous stuff. And if you call and you say there's got an issue, we're going to go out and we're going to hit that issue. But that's...
Right, so I don't see DUI checkpoints here. I don't see speed trap checkpoints here.
No.
I see you guys reading license plates in the middle of the street once in a while, but I'm not going to bother you for that.
And we're looking for stolen vehicles.
I understand.
We're looking for wanted people. That's...
Which is good to know.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking for.
And you're not looking for extortion. Like, oh, they're not registered, get them.
We don't get money for tickets. They're like $10.
That's all the township gets.
I give you $180 ticket. We get 10, 15. I don't know. It might be a little bit more now.
They say it's $20.
It costs me more
for your time.
Salary to pull you over, write you a ticket.
Yep.
It can take 10 to 15 minutes. That's more than $10.
So yeah, you're not any.
It's not any money making deal. We don't.
And I don't know how Tom is about telling you guys to generate income.
There is zero generation of income.
That's what I thought.
Zero. Absolutely zero. He wants us to make vehicle stops, but there is no, and but who wouldn't? This is what we get paid for. That's
your job.
If you're the mailman and you don't want to serve, the yellow letters, you're not doing your job, right?
Dump them in the sewer or
so you dump in the sewer, well, you're just not doing your job. So he wants us to do our job.
As long as you're pulling them over for a real reason.
Absolutely.
A tail light.
It's dangerous. Something like that, or
running a red light, I can see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dangerous driving, I can see. Tail light, headlight.
Listen, and that can become dangerous, obviously, because if a tail light's out and somebody, you don't use, turn signal, they don't see your brake.
You know what's ironic, though?
Yeah.
You're correct. So, with all the electronics and advancements we have in cars, which is everything, you can fly to the moon with them, how come there's not an indicator to tell everybody when their headlight or tail light's out? There's a reason for that.
Only time when you get a turn signal.
There's a reason for that.
Oh yeah.
They can easily. They tell you if your tire pressure's low.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
So they can put a sensor in all these lights to tell you when the bulb went out.
Right.
There'll be a little indicator on your dash, and you'll be like, oh fuck, my headlight's out.
Right. It's telling me right now my headlights are on.
So how come they don't do that?
I never even thought of that.
Because that's the reason for pullovers. That is one of the main reasons to allow an officer to get you. So if they told you a headlight's out, that would cut the pullovers by 80%. But that's just me thinking. That's not the truth.
Well, hey.
But it makes sense.
If I see you and I pull up next to you, I'm gonna hey, listen, your tail light's out.
I'll just make sure you got your seatbelt on, or I'll tell Mr. Christensen to get you. When is he retiring? My God.
Dude, he should be out soon.
every time I see him, I said, I thought I was going to retire, but but you're here now, and we giggle and shit, and it is what it is. But anyways, you guys are for the most part pretty good.
Yeah.
How many officers now? About over 80?
No, we're actually way low.
Because you were at 72 or so about 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
We haven't hired anyone. We're only replacing. Technically, with all our call volume has increased exponentially with all these new buildings and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're building like crazy here.
We need more people.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. When we get hot, we get hot.
So is there applications pouring in like they were years ago? Exactly.
I forget how many people. We had only 70 some people take the test the last time.
Okay.
I think it was like 72 took the test, and we were supposed to give the top 75 go to the next level. We had to drop it down to like 35.
So a couple questions real quick. I know you got to go and do other things. I don't want to hold you up. So, is there requirements for IQ and physical testing before hire?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So
IQ, you have to take an IQ test.
Yeah, so you take IQ, it's just you take a test. So you take a test.
Psychological test?
Well, you do take that test. So the first thing you do is take a written test. And that written test is going to maybe develop people that are,
kind of show
that this person is probably capable of being a police officer.
Okay.
So
by
way you
directed
answer these questions,
correct.
And then after you go from there, you go to you'll have a physical agility test.
Where do you take that at?
Take that at, depending on where it is. Sometimes at the high school we run around the track and do stuff like that. Wherever we have a track, wherever we get. We used to do it behind the police station, around the around the pond and all that. But people, we walk in front of you, you're trying to get a score, and you're like running around people and jumping up. Yeah, excuse me. I jumped over a lady, pushed her cart right, her child.
Really?
Stroller. I jumped over it.
So you're more than adult enough.
And we used to push cars, and those days are over. But so we do that kind of stuff, climb over walls. I think like a 1.5 mile run or something.
Is that once a year or just only at hire?
Only at hire.
Never again?
No, never again, which is, there are some departments that give you like a bonus if you do this, whatever, take the test and you pass it.
I have heard that. I think Chester did the same.
I would think that would be, I know that would be a way better system that every department
So therein lies part of the problem is I see a lot of fat or overweight public servants. And that tells me they have no control of their body, their mind. They should not have a gun or a badge. Someone like you who is still pretty fit, especially for our age, and still want to keep physically fit because that's the purpose of your job is to be physically fit, to do the things you needed to do, is good.
They've created other weapons such as the taser,
which is fine. How come they always pull their guns first?
Well, not anymore. It's not anymore. Well, let's put it this way. That doesn't happen anymore. And nobody's scared of the weapon anymore.
The taser, you mean?
No.
The gun.
They're saying we're not going to shoot. They're like, why are you pulling a gun on me? You're not going to shoot me. You're not allowed to shoot me. Everybody knows that. So dude, it's happened. So we've heard it. I've seen it on videos and all that
I guess today, especially if it's on camera, that can really harm either side depending on what went down.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the camera, that was the next thing. The camera, the camera's done a wonderful job for us.
So do you have them you have body cam on, and then you have
we have
video cams too?
Yeah, we have our in-car camera, and then we have our body cameras.
And you're not supposed to have that on every time you come in contact with the citizen?
We have our policy state that if there's going to be some sort of, like if I'm talking to you and you start elevating something like that, or you're going to do something, yes, I have to push the button. That's what I have to do. So it's obviously to capture what's going on, but it's also, most importantly, it covers us.
Yeah.
And we've had numerous complaints, and in this department, we have never found any complaint that we had body camera footage on. People they were like, come on in, we'll show you the body camera.
So that's the same reason why I have this. Because a lot of times we can't get that.
Right, it's not available to you.
Okay, it is through public records request.
But it's very rare.
It shouldn't be.
Well,
unless it's actually being used in a open case, that there's still investigation, that there's still an issue that we can't show the public yet because it might pollute their, their thought about it.
Yeah.
But anything after that, it should be, but it never is.
So we have offered people to come look at it.
Oh, okay.
I can't give you a copy.
So I can't request a video of a week ago from an incident that I was not involved in.
Probably not.
I know I can.
I'm just to say,
but I may not get it.
You're probably not going to get it.
See, that's fucked up.
Well, listen, I don't know.
Where's the accountability and transparency then at that point?
It's true, but like, I guess if you, I don't know, maybe is there the privacy aspect of it?
Doesn't matter. It's out in public.
I know. Listen, I'm just trying to.
Oh, no, I understand. I understand that, and I appreciate that, man. I really do. But logic should rule in everything that we do.
Sure. And
and it does, and then there's a reason for that.
And listen, we're in the spotlight.
You guys are, and that was my next and last point.
To a higher standard, and that's what we are.
Absolutely.
And if that standard isn't met, then so be it.
But so many things have changed, because the Supreme Court has ruled, I don't know, maybe in the last 5 to 10 years, that officers no longer have the authority or need to or have to protect and serve citizens anymore. Okay, how crazy is that? So what are you out there for? To extort and cage? If you're not there to protect and serve, which the Supreme Court says you're not, then what are you there for? Not you in general, but police.
No, hey, listen, when I heard this, you're welcome. When I heard that, I was like,
what is that?
What am I else going to do? I mean, that's what I'm doing. Everything I do is protected, pretty much. Sorry.
You're not. I used to be able to hear your shit through scanners.
Yeah.
You've changed your frequency crystals so much, you fuckers.
Yeah. you know what? I think there are so many, like on your phone, you can get those apps now.
Yeah, but they're junk.
They're
junk.
I think you get
Believe
like Philly.
Me. I would have to buy almost $1,000 scanner and hope I can get the same frequency as your crystals, and then you'll change them next year, which means that $1,000 scanner is now no good.
No good, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just said, you know what, I'm really not about, I used to be on your asses all the time, as you well know. You guys are not bad, so I went on to the real criminals, our government. You know what I mean? But I'll still bump into you and giggle and talk. But I've had so many bad interactions with officers, and that's why it's hard for people to become an officer, because what they see on YouTube and other channels. So I always tell the police they earn their own hate. Okay? If they would be mature, professional, stand-up men about it, and talk like you and I are, there'd be love for police.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm going to put this on, and this is actually a positive interaction.
Right.
And there's so few of them out there, and I'll cut it up so it's not so long and boring.
Cut out all the stupid stuff that I say.
Right? Believe you me, it's all good, and I've always had an open dialogue with our police.
Right. I never heard that.
So again, you guys earn your. I'm only out here to point a camera, and if they want to make a show for me, please do. Just like there's going to be a show here when I walk around with the camera. I'm very neutral. I'm not going to say I hate abortion or I love abortion. I'm going to say, what do you think? What's going on? So again, like officers, you make the video or you don't make the video.
Right.
And I don't care either way. My channel's not there to make a penny. I donate every goddamn penny I make from YouTube. I donate it. I don't want the money. I'm here to actually...
I've made your channel.
What's that?
I've made your channel.
Well, sub, like, and subscribe, as they say, or whatever the hell it is, because I don't even care. Where do you guys shoot?
Where do we shoot?
Behind the Public Works building?
Nah, we're done down there now. Pico took that back from us.
Huh.
Yeah, they let us have it, and then
I knew you were there for a while.
Yeah, we were there for.
I was gonna show up one day and say, just let me do some, let me shoot.
Yeah.
But I guess I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
Even though I pay for it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, just want to make sure.
We appreciate the use of it, but you can't go there.
So you go indoors or you're still outdoors?
We go indoors. We go to the county range now.
Well, Montgomery County.
Yeah, Plymouth, over Plymouth.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it's a nice place, but they open it to Montgomery, Chester, Bucks, State Police.
Busy,
it's
State Police too.
Yeah, State Police.
Park Rangers, anybody.
Whoever's a
government
law
official.
enforcement agency.
Wow.
And even I think they even go like with security companies.
Really?
Like Allied Burton or something like that. I know that. Things like that.
So you got to hang here all day?
No, I'm almost done.
All right. Oh, you're almost done for the day?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. What we got here? 1, 2, 3 stripes. That is a sergeant?
Yes.
Sergeant Miller.
Yes,
How long did it take you to get that?
How long have I been there? Probably 18 years.
Oh, you've been a sergeant for 18 years?
No, that's how long it took me.
Wow.
Probably 18, 15.
Wow.
I can't remember when I got promoted to corporal at 16.
Nice.
15 years and then
Good for you,
years,
man.
3 years later.
See, so
Outside his residence at 331. He would like to speak to officer. He's going to be out there looking in attention.
see you, man. Thanks.
We'll see.
All right. How you doing?